Hi, folks, I'm on Android.com where we get on Android every day. Alright guys, today we're going to go ahead and replace the Note 4 screen, broken Note 4 screen. Yes, I was doing a drop test and this is the one I disassembled and assembled it. And what happened was I didn't put any tape and it was all bulging out, and that screwed up the drop test. So it wasn't really the case I was using, it was just that I used this version. I should have used my other brand new Note 4. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and replace the screen. For replacing the screen on the Notes, just in general, the Note 2, Note 3, Note 4, I've done enough of them. There is a special, like an orange aluminum film thingy that goes between the actual screen and the digitizer, and that is what your S Pen uses. Now, you can still replace it, but the thing is that sometimes it gets all like messy and stuff, and if you want to do it like the professional way, and you're not a professional, then get the digitizer with the frame. So I was able to actually pick up this on eBay. I'll try to see if I can find some sellers, and I'll put it on my description. But try to find one with the frame, then it has everything in it. It has the digitizer, it has the S Pen film on it, and the frame. Otherwise you have to take it all apart and the little S Pen film gets all, weirded out. This way it's flawless, it's like brand new. And all you have to do is replace the motherboard, all the parts. That's what we're going to do, and it's actually easier for those of you who've never worked with phones. Anyone can do this, and that's what I'm going to show you. So let's go ahead and do this. It's going to take us quite a while, I think. This video might be kind of long, so just follow along if you're doing it. But anyone should be able to do this if you have a broken screen. Let's go do this, baby. Alright guys, so I've got my broken Note 4 here. And I've got the replacement parts. This is actually made for the Sprint Note 4, which I've got here. Most of them are compatible, but if you can, try to get the assembly that's made for your model of the phone. The only difference, well, the different types that you may want to watch out for is if you have an Exynos model, don't get the Qualcomm model because the internals will be different. But for most of the Qualcomm models should be the same. Because everything is contained in the motherboard. I believe they're actually pretty much the same. So just make sure you get the Qualcomm digitizer plus frame assembly. And actually you probably don't need the back cover, but it came with it, so I have an extra back cover. But I might use my other existing covers to make black and white sort of. So let's go ahead and do this. So first thing you want to do is basically get this part off. And in my disassembly video, I took the LCD out first, but the whole assembly actually comes apart. All right, so remove everything, including the SIM card and your battery, of course, and then go ahead and unscrew all the screws here. I do recommend the number 00. You can find this at the hardware store. This is exact fitting for Samsung phones. So go ahead and unscrew everything. Alright guys, so what you want to do, once you have all the screws removed, we're going to go ahead and pop the whole frame out. Make sure all of the screws are removed. So next you want to heat up all of the sides here. I do recommend using a heat gun nowadays. Or you can use a hairdryer if you don't have one. So I'm going to put it on low power and just heat it up around the corners. Or maybe on high power. We're going to go ahead and start twisting a little bit from the bottom here. Just kind of give it a little bit of force. And let me see if I can do this. Kind of push it. There we go. There we go. So hold the screen like this and just kind of pull on it until it pops out, and everything else should pop out. There you go. And boom shakalaka. So that's how you actually open it. The first time I did this assembly, I took the screen out and all this BS I'm not supposed to do. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and keep the frame here since it's nice and new still. All right, I'm gonna leave that aside. And the only thing I have to really do here is just simply replace everything. Now this is, again, recommended for those of you, who are beginners, who don't want to mess with replacing the screen. I mean, replacing the screen is also very doable. I'm just saying this is a lot easier for beginners. You can't mess up because, just take it apart and then move all the parts out. So we're going to go ahead and just replace the parts. Let me go ahead and undo these things here, the antennas. All right, I'm going to do the antennas. And I can save some of these parts if my USB module goes bad. Trust me, after like 2 years of using it every day, they will burn out. You can go ahead and replace these later. I'll save them for later. And to remove the motherboard, it's pretty darn simple. There's one screw here. All right. And also make sure you undo these flex cables here. This one here. Use a plastic tool so you don't hurt the stuff. So undo that. And I think that's actually about it. That should pop out. Oh, there's one more here. Don't forget the flex cables. And when you do it, apply gentle force so you'll know if you forgot to take the flex cable out. You'll kind of be able to feel it. And this should just pop out. So I'm just going to go ahead and start from the bottom here. Nope, it doesn't want to pop out. Nope, something's stuck. I might have forgotten the step. I don't do this for a living, so I just do it like once a year. All right, hold on a second. There we go. Yeah, it should pop out. Just work it. There we go. So work from the top here. That worked for me. And that will pop out the everything. There's one more flex cable here. That's why I told you to be very careful. And we're going to go ahead and just simply undo this with our nails. And boom shakalaka. This is a motherboard. All right. And we're going to go ahead and replace whatever missing parts there are on my new one here with the new display. So obviously this module here simply needs to go over here. All right. And this module, I already have it, so I'm going to take this camera out. I think this is the front camera. I don't really need it. So I'm just going to save this for another rainy day. There we go. That's the front camera. But I have all the assembly, so I don't really need it. See how simple that was? We just took the motherboard out. All we did was separate the digitizer frame assembly, took the motherboard out, and then we put the camera there. Everything else already exists on the new one. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and push this guy in. So first, go ahead and connect this over here. It can be a little bit tricky here. Just pop in there, and we're gonna lay down here. Now there's two connectors that gotta be connected. These two. Just make sure you hear some clicks. Go ahead and make sure you don't go over this connector to your speaker up here. All right, and insert a micro SD card because we're gonna have to push down on there. So go ahead and make sure your camera's on there, right? Also, and watch out for this flex cable; it just gets in the way. There we go. And pop in that flex cable. And there's also another flex cable I missed down here, so I'm gonna have to do this again. There we go. Make sure this flex cable is out. There's actually two flex cables. All right, we're gonna go ahead and insert the flex cables. Oop. Yeah. All right, and we're gonna go ahead and push down on the SD card here. This is where one of the connectors is. So let's do this. All right, and also by the camera, or not the camera, the sensors. Here, the little click there. And all right, we're gonna have to try to power it on. Also, Make sure the camera's in there. Make sure you screw it in because it's not that strong without the screw, and it might not power on because the button is supposed to be tied in there. So I'm going to go ahead and screw this one screw here pretty tight. That's the only screw holding the motherboard. I'm going to connect the antenna later. I'm just going to test, make sure the screen turns on. Make sure this thing I bought actually works. Go ahead and just use a nail there and just push down on it. There we go. And boom shakalaka! And we're going to let it power up here carefully. All right. And just make sure your touch screen's working, because those two connectors are for the LCD and the touch screen and your S Pen. So the touch screen is working. Make sure your S Pen is working. Ooh. So if this happens to you, you may have to undo it and do this process again until they're connected. But it's just not working here. Ew, that's not good. I have a new screen, but the S Pen doesn't work. So I'm gonna do the same process. Just unclip it real quick. All right, the LCD connector. Let me show it to you. Do the two of these. Go ahead and pop it out from the side. Actually, it's connected fine, so I'm gonna leave it alone. Oh no, you know what? It's not connected fine. Go ahead and undo the screw. Ah! This is a little bit tricky, I just found out, because with the frame replacement on the Note 4, the alignment of that has to be exact. The LCD's clipping on fine. For some reason, I can't get this thing to align correctly. So I'm going to go ahead and compare with this. And you can see how it's aligned a little bit lower than my original. So I'm going to somehow move it up a little bit. There we go. I just moved it up just a tiny bit. So it matches this. I just broke everything. All right, just move it up a little bit until it aligns perfectly like your original one. And this thing just, I need to move it up a lot. All right, without breaking it. All right, I think that's about right. Actually, it's a little bit too high. That should work this time. So just kind of working with it. All right, we're gonna try this one more time. Watch out for your flexible cables. Yeah. And the first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna snap on the left side, make sure it pops on there. Yeah, it's not aligned right. The display just pops on easily, just the other part just doesn't. So I'm gonna go ahead and undo it again and just do this again and again and again until I get it right. All right. Yeah, it's got to be a little bit more down. Okay, that should be perfect right there. Let me try one more time, and hopefully this time we'll hear a click. Just be careful here, and I'm going to just kind of push it down. See, I'm not hearing that click. Let me power it on, just see, it might have worked. Who knows? Crossing my fingers. Make sure you put the screw back on. Otherwise, the buttons are not pressed in, so it won't power on. Okay, in there. Hopefully this time I got everything working. Alright, the screen connected fine, so I didn't hear a click, but sometimes you won't hear a click even if you did it right, so hopefully this time it will work. Crossing my fingers. So the alignment again is just the problem when you're doing the assembly replacement instead of just a screen. So I may actually I may actually not encourage using this. Oh, it's working. I got it working. Boom shakalaka. So that alignment thing worked. So I'm gonna leave it all alone, and I'm gonna connect all the other connectors, put it in, and we're gonna be ready to go. So the hardest part was this, but most likely most of them have exactly the same location, but just simply moving it around a little bit did the work for me, because the length of the cable is not long enough, you know. All right, let's connect it, and we're gonna go ahead and connect these. Connect the blue one first up here, and be careful. Don't put too much force. You can break it. I've broken these antenna cables, and then you have to wait. You can get it on eBay for a couple bucks, but if you break it, then you have to wait until that part arrives, or you have to put it back apart, which isn't too hard. That should be something like that. But I'm happy here, and make sure everything's connected. Before we put on the last one, we're gonna do one more test, okay, guys? Make sure everything's working. The speaker will not work because the speaker's actually on this side. You have to actually pop on your thing. But everything else should work, including your camera, front camera, back camera, Bluetooth, all that good stuff. So here we go. And I'm so glad I got it working. Otherwise, I would be stuck with the phone with no S Pen working. And that's working. All right, S Pen's working just fine. I'm gonna go ahead and test out the Bluetooth real quick. Turns on fine. The most important part, the camera, of course. Right, and now it's working fine. Yes, and the front camera. There we go. Yes, it's working. All right. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull the battery again. And I'm just gonna snap it back on, and we should be good to go. That was easy, right? So I'm gonna have a black screen on white frame. That's really cool. And just pop from the bottom and to the top. It should just pop on there. Oh, sorry, maybe the other way. Try popping in from the top to the bottom. It's a little tricky. Oh, idiots. Take that micro SD card out. That's only for pushing it in, to help it push it. So it should be bottom. Bottom should be fine. So start at the bottom like that. And we're going to go ahead and pop it on there. Yeah. Okay, maybe start from the top. Start from the top. And just grab a little plastic piece here to kind of make a little bit more room. Okay, how about this? We're going to go ahead and just equally push it in there. They may work out better now. All right, I got the top part in. Just not sure why the bottom. I forget how I did it last time. All right, guys, we'll do it this time. All right, I got the right side in. There we go. And boom shakalaka. Ah, flawless, baby. Got the white on black screen. A brand new phone. Are you gonna? Oh, there's one part that's just not sticking out over here. Fudge. Fudge. Okay, hold on. Let me pull it back out real quick. Something's in the way. Shouldn't be. Okay, I'm going to try from the bottom up, because I know the bottom fits perfectly. Alright, it's fine here. Just don't understand. There we go. I'm going to start from the bottom up, make sure it's aligned well. Yeah, I think that's fine. Just kind of use a plastic tool to push this part in. There we go. And put it all in there. Shoot, we missed all the videos. Basically, I popped it back in. Some of the parts that didn't go in right, I used the plastic tool or my wooden golf tee here and got it in. Make sure it's flush. Once it's flush, you're good to go. And once it's flush, you're going to put all the screws back on, and that should work flawless because the screws is what holds the frame and the digitizer frame in place, or the back cover. Sorry, there's like two frame thingies. Outer frame and the inner frame. And I'm so happy. This is actually a very simple process than replacing just the screen or just the digitizer. And this will give you a flawless build without using any adhesives. You don't need any adhesives using this method. You don't have to mess with any of that. You'll have a flawless repair here. No one will notice it. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and put all these back in. Should be good to go, guys. And the method is pretty much similar to most Galaxy phones. So I hope this video helps you guys. But don't break your phone in the first place. Use a case. Alright, this is the last screw, guys. When you screw these in, just screw all the way in, and just a little tight should be perfect. You don't have to go overboard. All right. And look at that. That is killer. And I've got perfect alignment here. No more that replacing just the screen. And last time I did it, there was a little gap or something. Let me go ahead and put the SIM card back in. Alright, and what we have is a brand new phone. And I'm going to go ahead and use the black cover. Now I have a fully customized Note 4 with a black back, white frame, and black screen. And let me go ahead and power on. And wow, this is like the best replacement job I have ever done, because I didn't have to actually replace the screen. I don't actually recommend that. Check, this is freaking awesome. This is a custom. And if you want to just replace the frame, it's the same method. You can just pop out the frame and go ahead and grab a frame, I guess, on eBay or something. Should be good to go. And there we go. My S Pen is working. Let me go ahead and check the sound here. And sound is working just fine. And boop shakalaka. I hope you guys enjoy this video. That's how you can replace the digitizer with frame. And this is a lot easier method, recommended method. The digitizer with frame should cost you maybe 20-30 bucks more. It's well worth it than trying to replace just the screen. For those of you who've never tried it, even those of you advanced, I mean, this was just a flawless repair. As you can see, absolutely nothing. I didn't mess with the screen. It's flawless. The only hard part was aligning this, but most of you should not have a problem, I think. So you should be good to go. Anyway, I'll see you guys soon. And thanks guys for watching this video. As you can see, I have a brand new phone with the white frame with the black screen, which looks really cool. I'm actually now glad I broke my screen. I have like a one-of-a-kind phone, a custom phone. Don't get jealous, you can make your own. Anyway, thanks guys for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and follow me on Twitter, Facebook, or Google+. And have a great weekend. I will see you guys soon. Stay on Android.